welcome to vaultboys WV. This is your card-carrying cryptozoologist, Dave Chaffins. And joining me is my favorite, son of a Mothman, Austin O'Connor. Austin, how are you feeling?
I don't really know after that.
We have
So
just
see,
recently.
I just feel like I've been pulled in.
Here's the thing. Let's just clue people in. This is the official podcast for the. This is the reaction to, the Dave Direct 2021, which brought all of the brand new news from Dave Incorporated. There's going to be a link to the Direct in the episode description. Also, our live reactions are available on YouTube as well, at our YouTube channel, vaultboys WV. So you can get all of that there. But today, this podcast, we're going to start with our live reactions. You know, it's E3 week, a lot of big announcements, a lot of big moving and shaking. And I want to start with you, Austin, with your reactions to the Direct.
I mean, what, where should, where, um, we really got hit with a lot there. From, what was it? That was Dave Incorporated, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of.
I mean, they kind of stole the show. There. I don't know in a good way or a bad way, but they stole the show. I think. I mean, I'm enticed to find out more about everything, you know?
Yeah. So let's go through world premieres in this. First of all, I mean, I'm forgetting the special acquisition. I've talked about these air conditioning units before, but including that service in the many services that Dave Incorporated has. I mean, that's a big get for the company. How do you feel about that service acquisition?
I think in terms of efficiency, I think it's going to make the show run even better. I think it was a good pickup. And honestly could be a game changer. I don't want to speak too soon though. I think that the details still have to come out a little more about that, and we got to get more information. But I think just first reaction, I mean, I think it's pretty cool. Yeah.
World premieres. We had it's hard. There was so much in there. It's hard to even remember. Organizing my CD collection. I mean, I've been wanting to do that for so long since I changed it around the office. It's just exciting that that I get to do that. That gets to be a project. Also, the hydrangea. All of my other hydrangeas are pink. That's what people don't know. And so this one being blue, I mean, that's pretty big.
I mean, yeah, you got a variant there. That's interesting.
And I mean, all of these live service updates, talking about weeding, talking about, you got lawn care, scooping dog poops. I think that they were trying not to say dog poops, but I'll say it. I don't care.
Basement renovations.
Yeah,
murder basement.
How often do you think about a condenser
going on down there?
You know?
That's the first time I've ever thought about one, but the fact that I did, I think that speaks to the brand's ability to get people, engaged.
Yes. So let's break this down a little bit more, right? So I knew about this presentation coming into it. The developers reached out to me and they said, "Hey, it's E3.
Right.
We want to do a little something for the audience." And they approached me with this, and I said, "Yeah, sure. We can do that."
Yeah. The editing was phenomenal. Yeah, was that
I mean,
4K too? Looked like it was 4K.
it was 20. I think it was. They said 24K, and then they had magic in parentheses. I think that was a Bruno Mars joke. I'm not sure. I'll have to go back and do a second viewing and kind of dissect some of the stuff in the trailers. I'll have to go back and do a second viewing. What is
Yeah.
How can I measure your disappointment?
I don't think there's a way to measure my disappointment. I think that's the level that we are at. Did I hide it well?
No, you didn't. You started excited, and then you got the joke.
I thought I did.
And then the joke kind of, the joke kept going in different ways, and then you were like, he really.
Oh, how it kept going.
He really hyped me up for this.
You could say that.
Yeah, I did.
What you can't see is that under the table I've just had like the Arthur fists clenched, just sitting here the whole time. I thought it was gonna be like you sculpted Mothman's ass or something. That was where I really wanted it to go. So, but hey, you know what? At E3, sometimes there are highs, sometimes there are lows, sometimes there are disappointments, and that's the beauty of it all, right?
Yeah.
You just go with the flow. You take what you get.
I mean,
overall, I got to do today.
Overall, a killer soundtrack. Overall.
Yeah, no, for sure. That definitely, that 100%. I think really stole the show in terms of that performance there. I'm going to call that a performance because it was definitely art. I think there was definitely this performative art. But I'm not mad at you.
You just look stunned. You looked like stunned and confused.
It's just like when you come into it, when you come into it and you're up here, and then there's a joke, yeah, and then you realize that for the last 15-20 minutes that you have just been absolutely lied to,
No. You haven't been lied to. You haven't been lied to. If you look at the marketing for this, and the marketing plans sent by the company, all of the marketing says it's E3 week, period. There's going to be a special presentation. That's entirely separate from E3. That's not like, here's an E3 presentation. No, I'm just saying it's E3 week. It's like, today is Monday. I'm going to rake the leaves.
I'm just kind of speechless. I don't know. I think that this is going to cause me not to trust you anymore.
Jolly Anchor King in the chat says, Vault Boys saved E3. And let me tell you something. No words have ever...
Jolly Anchor King, don't encourage. Do not encourage this behavior. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't encourage Dave. Don't do that. He knows what he did to me just now. He knows what he was doing to me just now. Although, I applaud the effort that you put into that because that was impressive. You put a lot into that.
I mean,
Dave
unfortunately,
put a lot into that. I could tell they really cashed out a lot of money on that, and I respect that.
The employees seem great, but the guy that was leading the show, he seemed like he might have been like evil. I don't know. Every time it said, first of all, president of Dave incorporated home entertainment, but then it started changing his title to like profits stock portfolio, and then at the end it broadcasted that he was a member of the Illuminati.
Yeah.
He did do the snap really well, like when the Nintendo people do the snap. Mr. Dave did it pretty well.
That was good. That was really good. Yeah. Yeah. I don't really know what else to say.
So let's say that you want to rank this presentation from like a 1 to like a 10. 1 to 10. Like you're ranking it, and you can add in the points, I'm fine. You can add in the points. Where would you rank this presentation?
I don't think you want me to answer that question.
I do. I want you to like, we need to walk away with a ranking, and it's good to have discourse.
Like in school, they were like, you would at least get some points for putting your name on your test.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I just kind of like give that. You know what I mean? Like I would give it like a 2.
So how many? Okay, so how many points do you normally get when you put your name in the test?
I think like 20. So I gave you like an extra.
Okay, so like 20 points.
6.
So out of 10, you give me 20 points. That's amazing. Wow. Thank you. That really.
Yeah. Yeah. But there's always next E3, and that's really what we gotta remember.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah, there's always. I'm very curious now that there is a trend, that there's a new player on the field, that's coming in every E3, doing this, doing a direct to you, 10 minutes worth of content, and it was always moving. It wasn't like we're gonna sit down and like they had like there was concept art. There was literal.
Yeah, you got me there.
Concept art for projects in Dave Incorporated, which is wild. I mean, how in depth do you get with developers, especially people going through that are fixing these problems, that are literally walking you through how to fix problems like weeding the garden,
Yeah, I think so I know that it aired online. Is it also going to air? Is that going to be like the 2 a.m. special, like middle of the night PBS? Is that
fortunately we got exclusive rights to that, which is what I pitched to you beforehand. Remember when I said that we had been approached by a company and we have an exclusive rights to this presentation? That's what I meant.
Yeah. That is impressive. I think that speaks volumes as well.
So you give it a 20 out of 10. Great. I'll give it like a 9 out of 10. I think, here's the thing. What could have bumped it up to a 10 is if, I think the camera operator needed to clean his camera lens sometimes. For some of the shots, for some of the previews, it was a little hard to see, a little blurry. So I think if they cleaned the camera lens, that might be better.
Yeah, it's always a good start, for sure.
So, Austin, how do we move past this?
I unfortunately don't think that there is a way to move past this.
You don't think so?
I think that no. I think that this is gonna take some time to process.
It's gonna take some time. Here's the thing. So I started with this, but once I get like an actual, an actual thing to be excited for, you're not gonna believe me. And then like here's a low so I'm lowballing you now. And then eventually, I'm going to, like, actually blow your mind,
No, next time I'm just leaving the chat. if you tell me you have something to show me, I will just be gone at that point. I'm just out. Uh, I think you played a lot of mind games today, and unfortunately, that's gonna take some time to kind of patch that up.
Mm, mm,
The trust.
mm. Well, Jolly Anchor King says no release dates, 0 out of 10. Now, here's the thing. Everything has a year on it, I'm pretty sure, but I don't think that they actually gave dates, which is kind of tough. You know, if nobody gives dates for anything, how would
Yeah.
we know? But I think that, it being the times, Dave Incorporated is probably going to, and I want to say take a backseat of when those release dates are, but closer to release, they'll probably put out something. That will probably be something that they put out.
Like maybe like holiday.
Yeah, holiday. It's a
Like
great
a holiday release.
holiday release. Yeah, holiday release.
Yeah.
So obviously, normally we start this show with what have you been into this week. I feel like that from my personal end, I'm pretty much covered. I don't need to say any more about what I've been into.
So.
And I don't think that you particularly have the energy to do that transition in that light. So maybe we'll circle back. We'll circle back to where you are. And we'll just, we're going to reassess. I don't have the music cue pulled up. So we're going to, first of all, we're going to find where iTunes is so that we can pull up a musical transition for our little show. And here we go. Oop. There was a malfunction in Dave Productions, but we're perfectly fine now. Here's the thing. I don't have the news stories 100% pulled up because of the way that I just did all of that stuff. So we're going to do a quick transition here to a different screen. And we're going to pull up. There's my face. Wow, look at that. That's a really professional shot of me. Right. Let's go ahead and pull up the weird news. There we go. Oh, that's so perfect. And we're going to go ahead and transition back into that. Wow, look at us. Look at us. We're really moving and shaking today. Let's see. First up, you've got a news story. A lobster diver in Cape Cod says humpback whale scooped him up and spat him out. AOC. What you know about this?
Yeah, so this story I feel like didn't get enough attention. I'll start with that. I'm gonna pull the story up here too, just because but I actually meant to have it in front of me here. But I saw this this morning actually, which was I think why it's so surprising to me because this was 4 days ago. But so a lobster diver was legitimately just scooped up by a humpback whale. Like, what's the story, Jonah in the Bible of Jonah being swallowed by a whale? Like, this man was straight up just swimming along, which, to be fair, I mean, you're in the ocean, and I don't know. Like, the ocean just terrifies me to begin with. So I have absolutely no interest in just diving in the middle of the ocean because there's stuff in the ocean that could just kill you, and you're in those creatures' domain. So, like, of course, like, why would a whale not do that? But this man was straight up just like in a whale's mouth for like 30 seconds. It was trying to swallow him. He said it was pitch black, so he couldn't see anything, and then it just spit him out, and he goes flying into the air. Like, one, I feel like we could definitely get a movie out of this, or at least like a TV special. Like there's
Yeah.
enough here. I think we could get enough interviews and like recreations to get at least like maybe like a 2-part TV special, which would be cool. But I don't know. I like what happens if a whale swallows you? I mean, like, do you die immediately? You know what I mean? Like, how close was he to death? I think that's what we need the scientific studies now to show. But like 30 to 40 seconds in a mouth, you can't see anything. Just imagine the things that would go through your mind. Like you're just swimming in the ocean and then all of a sudden you're enclosed in darkness inside. I guess he had his scuba gear on. I don't know if there would technically be water inside the whale's mouth, but I don't know. Everything about this story is just batshit crazy to me.
So how long
Like,
was he in there?
And that's why. Well, it says 30 to 40 seconds. The mouth
Oh, I
is
see.
closed,
It's right.
and
It's
then
exactly
you
in
just
front of me.
spit
It's
him out.
stupid.
Like, but I just want to know. There's got to be someone else in the world that was actually swallowed by a whale, and just died. Like, how often does this happen? Is there a statistic for how many people get swallowed by whales every year? Because there's a lot of whales, I feel like, in the world. There's a lot of people that dive in the middle of the ocean for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
I need like a complete like enclosed something submarine type thing if I'm going in the ocean, and I need it to be bigger than whatever's in the ocean because I don't know.
Isn't it
there,
that
like,
killer whales eat? Do killer whales eat people?
I don't know. I really don't know, and that's the thing. I don't know much about whales. I've never claimed to be a whale specialist, but I just feel like if they're like the largest animals, probably are they the largest animals in the world?
I think the big well, we can just Google that. We have the power. Largest animal in the world is the blue whale.
Yes.
400,000
So think about that.
pounds. 33 elephants.
Dude, think about that. Oh my God. Think about all of the inner workings of an animal that size. And like you're essentially in a building at that point. Like you're inside of this whale. But like my thing is like, do you think that like you would be able to like crawl your way back? Because like humans are smart and I feel like you know, we have opposable thumbs and,
Mhm.
and hands and like could you technically crawl out of it if it swallowed you, or like are you just immediately burned up? I don't know, like acid, I don't know what happens, but like also how did this guy not get swallowed if he couldn't see anything? There's so much to this story I need more of, and I feel like I just hearing about it 4 days later, like this should be all over the place. If I almost got swallowed by a whale, I would want to be on every talk show in the world. Like I want that to be the most viral story out there. I don't know. Just a lot going on here. This was really the only story I think I sent you this week, just because I was just amazed at this.
So Jolly Anchor King in the chat says you gotta just die right, which I agree. It's just like
I think you gotta just die. Yeah, at that point, I feel like you're just dead. But to say that you got out of that situation, that's a pretty big flex. Like that guy could go to a bar and be like, that guy that almost got swallowed by, that was me. I survived that. I mean, that's like a big conversation starter. Like you can't not talk to that guy. You know what I mean?
right. You gotta be like, hey,
know.
dude.
Like, that'd be a killer. It'd be a killer icebreaker.
Yeah.
Like if that happened to somebody and they went to college, like first day of class, to have the icebreaker, everybody's like, "Oh yeah, I met Michael Jordan when I was a kid," like something like that. It's like, yeah, I almost got swallowed by a humpback whale, and then I lived. Like that's my icebreaker.
This is like a 60-minute special in the making. Like how I survived my whale experience. But here's the thing: what they need to do is wait like a year. And then find the same find the same whale, and then
we need to get its side. Yeah, we need to get its side of the story.
Or be like, I revisited the whale that tried to eat me, because then that's funny, or that's sentimental, I suppose. Like
there's
it's like when you catch the shark that tried to
him
eat
on the back of a boat.
Yeah, he's posing. He's got like the big thing.
There's like a close. there's a shot of the guy of Michael Packard on the back of this boat. He's got his arms crossed and he's just looking out at the water. There's like this very mysterious music playing, kind of like he's finally healing from the trauma. And then you just see the whale just come up, cinematic pullback. That's the end of the episode. Barbara Walters is there, like everything. That'd be awesome. I think I kind of want this to happen now, but like, of course it was in like what, Cape Cod, I think, or something like that's just of course.
Of course, yes.
But honestly, like, how do you get back in the water after that?
That was the exact question I was going to ask you.
Shark attack. Yeah, it's like a shark attack. Some like surfers and stuff, like they'll get back in the water because it's very. I mean, I get that it's a very low percentage chance of something like that happening, but like, if I have a whale straight up, I'm in a whale's mouth, I will never get in the ocean. I'm not even putting my feet in the sand at Myrtle Beach or in the water at Myrtle Beach. Like, I don't want anything to do with the ocean. I'm gonna move to Iowa and just get as far away from the ocean as I can. I'm done as a lobster fisherman or whatever he is. No.
Yeah.
But he said, y'all, I think he said in here, like, oh yeah, he'll be back in the water as soon as he heals. Are you an idiot? No, don't do that.
It's these people that go. It's always the people that go through these harrowing experiences that are like, yeah, I'd love to get back on the surfboard after my shark bit the end of it.
It's too much for me. The ocean, I have a very big fear. I have a big fear of things that are submerged in water that you can't see. And then like videos people post from like boats and you just see like a shark come up to like just where you can see it at the top of the water and then go back down. Nightmare. Absolute nightmare. No, not doing that. Like that's ugh. So like a whale, like these kayakers that post videos in like a bay and there's like whales under them. That thing could easily just like open its mouth up and just pull you under from the top of the water. Even like a little boat, like these like fishing boat, like a fishing boat, like they could, like, how big did you say a blue whale was? Like,
400,000 pounds and 90. Hang on, I still got it up. 98 feet in length, and that's around 33 elephants.
Dude, think about that. You get like another thing. Like cruise ships. How do cruise ships not like if these blue whales were like big enough assholes, they could just straight up ram into a cruise ship and just topple it over if it wanted to.
I saw a video, I guess it was like a few days ago, where somebody had an orca whale caught in one of their ropes in the boat, and this dude jumped out into the water and detached the rope from the whale. Yeah. And I mean that's nice, but also like holy shit. I saw he jumped
on the whale, didn't he?
Yes. He like jumped on the back of it.
He jumped on the whale.
Yeah.
That's pretty hardcore. Very brave. But oof.
You won't find me doing that. I'm not jumping on the whale. I'm good.
No.
I love animals. I'm not gonna jump on the whale.
Unfortunately, that whale's gonna have to deal with that rope for a while. I'm not getting in the ocean in that part of the ocean. I don't even like going like waist deep in the ocean at the beach. I'm not jumping into the middle of a shark's home. No
way.
Absolutely
no way,
not.
Jose.
Yeah, so that was my story. That story was just insane to me. So that was my like big story of the week.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I first off, before we move on, Bobblehead VB in the chat says, "What did I miss?" And the answer is a lot. But I only brought
everything and nothing all at the same time.
True, it was everything and nothing at the same time. I only brought one story this week because I was busy. I've been busy with what? Who knows? You know. So apparently,
who knows?
Apparently, the U.S. might be trying to change.
I've never been on live television.
U.S. might be trying to be What are you even doing? What are you even doing? Huh?
Have you never seen that video of the little kid getting interviewed for TV? And he was like, apparently, I've never been on live television before.
Oh, yeah. It's like a little kid in the Midwest.
Apparently,
they brought him on Ellen, right, or something like that.
I'm sorry, I interrupted your story. You said apparently, and I just,
Apparently.
Go
This is the
on.
first time I've
Go
ever
on
been
with the
on
chlorophyll.
television. So
Proceed.
during a House Natural Resources Committee hearing on climate change, Representative Louis Gohmert made a reference to what is known as a lunar retreat. The moon's slow drift away from the Earth over millions of years. He brought up the issue with the Associate Deputy Chief of the National Forest System. I understand from what it's been testified to, the Forest Service and the Bureau of Land Management, you want to very much work on the issue of climate change. And I was informed by the past director of NASA they have found the moon's orbit is changing slightly, and so the Earth's orbit around the sun. We know there's been a significant solar flare activity, so is there anything the National Forest Service or BLM can do to change the course of the moon's orbit? Obviously, this would have a profound effect on our climate. So this is kind of crazy. So this is like when you like being cooked real slowly and they're turning up the temperature by degree. Like if the moon's orbit changes,
Yeah.
then the oceans change because that's what's like holding. That's what makes the waves. There's wind, of course, which propels them, but a lot of that is dictated by the moon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is one of those scenarios where I'm never sure what, like, I feel like that the end of humanity is going to be something like totally strange like that. Like, oh, the moon's orbit changed.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people are like nuclear war or like the ice caps are going to melt and flood the earth. And in all actuality, it's probably like, so there was an asteroid that hit the moon and moved it maybe like a foot off of its course, and that killed all of the satellites that protected us from solar flares, and now we're dead.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the good news is it said millions of years, so we're probably going to be fine. I just don't really see. Didn't it say they asked the National Forest Service or something like what they could do?
Yes, and the National Forest Service is like.
That's the funniest part of that. That's the funniest thing I've seen today. You got the moon off of its.
Part of this sounds like when, like, you got dad coming in to the the little 8-year-old, and it's like, well, Jimmy, I've heard of this thing called Fortnite. Tell me about tell me about. I heard that there is a guy that's trying to be a ninja on there. You need to look into that ninja fellow. He's making a lot of money. You need to be, I wonder if you can be a ninja as well if you go to Japan. That's what it kind of sounds like to me.
It's like you got this guy named like Steven who just got a job at the National like Forest Service or whatever just because he, took a couple tests, did his training, all this stuff, and they're like, Steven, listen. So the moon is off its orbit and we really need a solution. So if maybe by next Friday, hit us with.
If you can get us something.
Hit us with a few ideas. Yeah. If not, cool. If not, totally cool. We understand. But yeah, if you could help us figure out how to bring the moon back where it was, we totally love that. We know that you're only getting paid like, $60,000 a year, and you technically only are supposed to deal with the forest, but we're just spitballing here, and we just think different perspectives might help. So we're putting it on you, Steve Dogg. We really think you can pull this in, so to speak. You know what I mean? So, like, I just picture that conversation. Why would it not be like NASA and like SpaceX or whatever? Like, what was the new program called? A Space Force or SpaceX?
Yeah, Space Force.
I think there's a show called something like that, but
yes, it's called the name of the branch of the Army.
Yeah, I just think, first off, we're not gonna pull the moon back. Like, I think that we are that is well beyond our capabilities as a society. Maybe in a few thousand years they'll figure that out, but I don't know. That's like asking somebody in like the year 500 to figure out polio or something. Like, I just don't think it's gonna happen. Like, we're just not there yet.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
agree.
know.
I'm with you. I'm
Also,
with you.
like, I mean, let let the UFOs figure it out. Maybe that's why they're here. I don't know. Maybe they're gonna do it for us. Who knows?
Could be. Could be.
Who knows? Who knows?
So we really only have two news stories today. Surprise, surprise. That's kind of the
Slow news week.
it's a slow news week. So now is a great time to talk about what we're excited for and what we're looking forward to. And here's the thing, let's we can take this off the rails as much as we want. We've allotted. You put up with me for a good solid, I'd say 20 minutes. Then we did 20 minutes of news, right? And now I
Mhm.
really want to give you the floor at this point to just talk about all the things that make you happy and excited. Like I need to I need to give you some time.
Just things that I'm excited for. Um, kind of similar to last week's. Doing some traveling. Got some photo shoots set up for myself. Things to go kind of recreate that. uh, I guess one of the coolest things about being a photographer is like you're always getting better and learning. So for me, I have an opportunity over the next few weeks to go out and kind of recreate some shots that I took years ago that I haven't been able to really get again. But sort of frame them in a different way and take them probably much better than I did when I was younger.
Hmm. Is it
So that'll be fun.
across?
Kind of
Is it in Bluefield or is it like across like West Virginia?
No, it'll be up in like the Potomac Highlands, a few different places up in that kind of part of the state. A couple of places I haven't been before that I'm gonna go to in the state, and it'll be fun. It's kind of like how Taylor Swift did Taylor's version of her songs. This is gonna be like Austin's version.
Austin.
I'm
Oh,
gonna go
it's like
back
the
and
new and
recreate
improved,
and
new and improved
recreate them.
situation.
Yeah, yeah. So taking a lot of photos, getting out this summer. Um, Excited for concerts. I've got some concerts coming up this year.
What do you
Gonna
have coming
I'm
up for
back on the
concerts?
buff back back on the Buffett train. Jimmy Buffett. Every year my family goes to see Jimmy Buffett. I've got Gregory Alan Isakov and Patty Griffin are performing in October. Got tickets to that in Charlottesville, so that'll be fun. And yeah, just stuff like that. I don't know, just outside music, kind of getting back into some normalcy. And then one other thing, I was actually on I was interviewed on a separate podcast last week. It's called Plugged Into Substance Plus Style. It's some people from back in Bluefield have started collaborating, and I came in and did an interview with them. So I've actually linked that on my social channels. So if you want to check that out, um, yeah, I don't know. That's kind of all the big stuff going on with me right now. Just
I
kind
haven't
of
watched that, but
chaotic.
I want to. What were you mainly talking about? Photography, or were you like,
Yeah,
what was the
mostly
subject matter?
photography. They wanted to know sort of about my journey. Because I got an English degree, I worked in banking, and then somehow was able to find my way into the industry I ultimately wanted to be in, even though I didn't have any professional experience. So we talked about that and sort of the process and the journey and going viral and sort of my aspirations and things I've been kind of practicing and working on in photography. So that was fun. It was a really good interview. I had a lot of fun. That was actually episode 2. So they just started the
Started
show
out.
a few weeks ago. Um, and it was a good time. They they had some good questions. It was a good conversation. Um, so excited to see what they do too. But yeah, I don't know. It's summer for me is very chaotic because I feel like by like now, like by June, I have like almost every weekend somehow booked out until like August or September. Like you look, there's all these like so many plans. It's a lot of plans. Um, so yeah, I don't know. It's a lot going on. What do you have going
All of
on
the
over
weekends are
there?
pretty full up. As you get into the summer months. Like to
Yeah,
me, I mean, last summer that was not the
yeah.
case, and I was here all the time. But this summer, where there's like actual stuff, we've got a lot kind of going on. So we are just like
Yeah.
slammed, essentially.
AC units.
I
Yeah,
see.
AC units and yard work, and
Yeah.
you got a lot over there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We've got concerts too. I've got concerts. We've got, what is it? Weezer, Fall Out
Yeah.
Boy, and Green Day coming up, which I'm pretty excited for.
Yeah.
Um,
See, I'm jealous about that one. I would be reliving my childhood there.
I mean, that's pretty much like a span of like really 6 years of my life, I suppose. Like that is pretty much all I listen
Yeah,
to
and
from
didn't you all
like.
get those tickets? Like, yeah.
We got those tickets in
Wasn't that like 2 years ago?
We got those tickets for in 2019, in January of 2019, and so now it feels like a free show because we've already spent that money. But here's the thing: we spent like money on that show, because that's a big concert. But now, since of
Yeah.
the COVID, the tickets, like the actual VIP tickets, are like so much cheaper. Like they're cheaper than our general tickets. So
Really?
yeah.
Huh? I would have thought they would have been more expensive. Like,
No, they are so much cheaper because I guess
wow.
nobody's gonna go, you know.
When is the concert?
Sometime in August. They're going around.
Might have to check. Might have to check that. Might have to check those ticket prices.
I mean, they're going around. What is it? I think they're like 50 or 60. It's like something hilariously small.
Not bad.
It's like something like for the level.
No way.
Yeah, it's something small last time we checked, but I'm unsure. So we've got that. We've of course summertime TV shows starting again. Wait, let's see, what do we have? Oh, tonight is TV time starts in July when Riverdale really starts. But up until then, we have a show that I'm particularly attached to, which is Dave, not associated with Dave Inc. But
Yes.
is Little Dicky, and I like that show a lot. That
Very
starts
great
tonight.
show.
Not associated.
It is great.
I mean, we'd be honored if they collaborated with Dave Incorporated. We've got, Loki. Wednesdays are just.
I think
really
Dave
big
Incorporated is a little too big for that.
Yeah,
I got up early before work this morning to watch Loki. I like the Disney shows. Like I get too excited for them, and then I just watch them. I get up at I think I got up at 6:30 this morning just to watch that. It was ridiculous. So,
man,
good shows.
all good stuff. All good stuff. We've got we've got a lot going on here.
All this cool stuff with actual E3.
Yeah,
I'm sure you've been losing your mind. The stuff I've caught up on is just crazy. Between Breath of the Wild, like that update, and all the Fallout stuff coming out.
Mhm.
I mean, Starfield. What else?
Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be. I'm gonna wait and see about. I don't own an Xbox. I don't have anything against Xbox, but I just bought a PlayStation 5, and so like my my monies that I spent on that are like tied up for a good year or two, and so we'll have to wait and see what the money situation is. I am excited. There's a lot of good stuff on the Switch that's coming out. What did you get to say?
I'm excited for that. I haven't really played my Switch for like a month, and I need to get back into that. I go through like phases with it. Like I'll get in a kick where that's like all I play, and then I'll switch to PlayStation. And my Xbox hasn't been played in like a year and a half, and I kind of want to get Game Pass and just switch back to that until I can get a PlayStation 5. But there's so few game systems out right now that you can actually get still. With what is this, like 6 months later? Like 7 months later, maybe? It was last year, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
It was.
It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell what's going to happen, but who knows? A lot of stuff to be excited about.
Yeah,
a lot of stuff.
I'm excited for the Fallout stuff that they're doing with going to Pittsburgh. I'll probably talk about that more in the Fallout Hub next week. People got to learn about the Yinzers, lot of good Yinzers. And
Yinzers,
what else?
Yinzers, yeah. We love
They've
a good
got like
Yinzer.
a new Metroid game I'm excited for. It's all like there's plenty of reason to be excited. Some of the conferences were kind of crap. And we're just like hilariously
There's a few
business calls. And there was one that at the end of every single developer, they were like, how great is it being a partner with the parent company? And the developer's like, it's really great. I love it. I love you.
Yeah, it's like super dry.
Yes.
Yeah, that stuff's always interesting. I think, yeah, I don't know. With E3, I always end up like I'll watch the big stuff. I just have been so busy I didn't really get to this year, but I normally try to watch like Bethesda and like I guess like a lot of Sony and Microsoft's like big presentations, and then I just kind of fill in the rest later. I don't know. There's a lot to watch, and there's a lot of the time I end up getting disappointed. I don't know.
It's just part of it. Part of it.
Part of it.
Well, I've probably taken up more than enough of your time for all of my antics. We did a little news. We talked about what we're excited for. We're feeling good. No more whammies. No more whammies from me. I'll keep out the whammies for next time. But you can catch this podcast on all the different podcast services. We're on absolutely everything. We're going to go through a little bit of a rebranding here in the next month. We're kind of circling around to that. I'm going to change up some stuff. Hopefully going to change up. I think next time we're going to change up what app we do this call on so that we can not be out of sync, because I think both of us on both of our ends are a little bit out of sync. So that's why if you notice a little weird dead space, that's kind of what's going on. So we're working on that. We're trying to get through that. We're each episode essentially we're getting better and better at getting this whole remote situation. And years before, when we were doing podcasts, we were literally in the room that I'm in, just podcasting. So it's a little bit of a challenge, but we're getting there. But we've got some stuff to freshen up the show. Of course, you can watch Dave Direct 2021 on YouTube. That's out there. We're going to put up the live reactions if you didn't get them in this episode. Which is not going to be in the main podcast episode. You can get that separately. So you can see both the direct, the live reactions, and get the podcast. That's 3 pieces of content this week, which is kind of crazy. It's wild. So you can go and get that. Austin, do you have anything that you want to promote and share? You've obviously talked about your podcast with, say the name again.
Is Plugged In Media. And 3 Up, 2 Up. So it's Plugged Into Substance Plus Style is the name of the podcast.
Yeah, you should check that out. Otherwise, from Hollow to Highway, we've got you covered 6 ways to Sunday.